Well, I have two main discrepancies, and we'll talk about one right now, and this is a Power Four and independent discrepancy, and that is Notre Dame getting an at-large bid over Miami right now. Now, I understand that Miami is projected to make it. I think they have them in as the ACC champion,
Yes, they
but
do.
I don't understand how that can be the case because Miami has two ACC losses,
Yes,
and I
yeah.
just don't see Georgia Tech and the other teams above them. I think Virginia as
and
well,
Pittsburgh,
and
yeah.
Pittsburgh. Like, I don't think they're going to lose another ACC game. I think it's going to be Virginia, Georgia Tech for the ACC championship. So Miami would have to get in as an at-large bid. What you're telling me right now, and honestly, if they were to just come out and say this, I'd be perfectly fine with it.
Yeah.
Because at least you're admitting it.
Right.
What you're saying now is head-to-head doesn't matter, and it's all about the brand. If you were just to come out and say, well,
Correct.
we
Yeah.
want the Notre Dame brand in the college football playoff, I'd respect you a little bit more if
Right.
you just came out and said that.
Right.
Because
Right.
that's just what it is right now. Why even play the games? Because let me tell you this. If Notre Dame were to get in with 2 losses and Miami weren't with 2 losses, even though Miami beat Notre Dame,
Yes.
why, if you're in the ACC, would you schedule Notre Dame anymore?
Yeah, there would be
There's
no
no
need
point.
to. There would be no
Yeah.
need to. Yeah, and you're exactly right. And I think that the Miami situation that can resolve itself hopefully here at the end of the season
Yeah.
if they lose that next game. What I thought too was maybe even trying to backdoor. And I don't think there's any way you can do this. I don't know if there's any way you could backdoor 2 ACC teams
No,
in
you-
this
you
thing.
can't.
There's
I
no
mean-
way. Trying to get the champion and Miami in there, which would be, to me, insane.
Yeah, the conference, you look at the metrics in the eye test, they don't really pass the metrics.
Right.
And they definitely. The conference definitely doesn't pass the
No.
eye test because, I mean, you just had Georgia Tech struggle
with Boston College.
with Boston College. I don't care if we have some SEC haters out there and everyone hating on the SEC for all the
Right.
hypothetical matchups. You cannot tell me that Boston College would beat Arkansas in a game.
No.
You cannot tell me that.
No.
And I think Arkansas honestly beats them by at least 2
I
touchdowns.
would say 2 touchdowns, and maybe the same thing with a bunch of other teams out of the SEC. I would say the same thing for Mississippi State.
Yes. Honestly, the bottom half of the
yes.
SEC.
Yeah.
Because the top half is definitely beating Boston
Oh,
College.
yes.
'Cause Boston College is bad, honestly, probably as bad as Purdue.
Right.
I made the same argument about the Big 12 or the Big 10 as well with Purdue.
Right.
Like there's no way Arkansas is losing to them.
Right.
No. I don't care about the hypothetical matchups. That's just facts.
Yeah, I agree with you. And to me, I said going into it, I was really interested in seeing where they ranked Notre Dame vis-a-vis Alabama,
Right.
because that matchup to me, or the way that they put those teams on for me, lets me know what you think of not only this team, but also what you think of their resumes going into
Yes.
it. I'm right there with you. I think if you want to do a brand thing and you're saying, hey, we'd put Miami and Notre Dame in because it's a brand situation and they were the brand of the 80s and the 90s and it will draw more eyeballs, I'm fine. I'm fine with it if that's what you say.
And honestly, I'm going to pull the bracket back up here for a second.
Yeah.
I'm almost hoping Oregon loses this weekend to USC because then the committee can get – you talked about it on the show. I think it was the committee wants to get those matchups. They love those matchups.
Absolutely.
Well, if Oregon were to lose, I could see a Notre Dame-Alabama matchup in the first round of the college football playoff. Let me tell you, the ratings would be through the roof.
I know it, yes.
Easily the best-rated first-round game of any playoff ever.
Yes.
Any sport.
Yes. That game in Tuscaloosa, I mean, I think that'd be
Would
unbelievable.
it be in Tuscaloosa? Because right now Notre Dame is 9 and Alabama's 10.
Oh,
So
that's right. Yeah. I think that if no, you are spot on about that.
and
because
you
I was
know
thinking-
know the committee. I don't care if Hunter Yurachek is an SEC guy.
yeah.
Which then if Alabama were to jump Notre Dame, then that would just send the whole world into mass
Right.
chaos.
Oh, yeah.
But you know they're going to want to get a home game in South Bend any way they can.
Right. If Alabama finds their way into the SEC championship game and beats Texas A&M, do you think that would vault them ahead of Notre Dame?
Yes.
Okay. So
They would have to. But I just don't understand, and I'd love your input on this as well. What happens if Georgia makes the SEC championship game and loses and has 3 losses?
Yes.
How can you punish people for making the conference championship.
Right,
Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
And that is a real possibility for this team. Now, would it hurt the SEC overall? Maybe not getting that fifth team in. There's a possibility for that. But I'm right there with you, because you're not going to lock a Georgia team out that loses in the SEC championship game, even though they have 3 losses on the season. I don't think you can punish, whether it's Alabama, for example.
Right.
If Alabama goes in to the SEC championship game and loses,
and I
they
don't
would have
think
3 losses
the
as well.
path for Alabama is that tough to get in the SEC championship.
No.
I think they just need Texas A&M to lose to Texas end of the year.
Yes.
And then obviously to win out.
Right. If they win out, they'll finish 7-1 in league play, and if Texas A&M loses to Texas, they would finish 7-1.
And I think it would be Alabama, Texas A&M.
And it'd be Alabama and Texas A&M. Georgia's done an SEC play, of course. They already they played their 8 games. Ole Miss has the Egg Bowl left, so
I think Ole Miss is out of it as well.
Right. Yes, and Ole Miss would be out by nature of.
They would. I think they would need mass chaos, like all of those teams above them, to lose.
Yes, exactly.
And then they would, I think, play Georgia.
Right. So, I mean, Ole Miss has its spot, but they can't win the SEC championship game. And honestly, I think if you're Ole Miss, you kind of like where you are right now, because you don't have to play that extra game in Atlanta. You just go in there, take care of business in the Egg Bowl, and you're sitting scotch-free just waiting for whoever's going to come to Oxford.
Yeah, I mean, you got a few weeks off now. We see how that sometimes affects teams. Specifically ones that got that first round bye, because I mean they had like a month off. I mean that was just that's a tough thing to go through.
Right.
We talk about it all the time. You know, a lot of controversy around the wild card and MLB moving to a series instead of one game, because that's more time off, and especially with baseball, you can't just go so long without playing. I think it'd be advantageous to Ole Miss if they were to win out. They'd presumably get the 6th seed, host the ACC champion. I mean, I would much rather do that rather than be the 7th seed, obviously, and host the 10th seed.
The 10th seed, right. And there's just a lot to decide here, and I do think though it is a weird year because the top of the SEC is so strong, the top of the Big Ten is so strong,
right.
And the top of the ACC is so weak, and the Group of 5 is in a shaky spot as of right now. However, we will dive way more into that Group of 5.
But first, I mean, we just got to talk about this because, you know, it's my team.
Okay.
The Irish face Syracuse this week. They're 35.5-point favorites. So all of this could just not matter if Notre Dame were to somehow lose this game. But let me tell you, if Notre Dame were to lose this game, they deserve to be blasted so far into the shadow realm, never to be heard from ever again. Because that would be the biggest embarrassment to the Irish since Brian Kelly was head coach. So you're so far into the shadow realm, like gone, like just blasted.
Where is that game, by the way? Is that game in Syracuse?
No, it's not.
I'll
look it is not.
It's a Notre Dame. I mean,
and I say that
35 points for a reason, because
Joe Filardi is starting at quarterback for Syracuse, and I know everyone's like, "Who is Joe Filardi?" Well, he had a 1.9 passer QBR against UNC. So if you lose to that dude, you are banned forever. Banned from college football. You need to be relegated to Division III football.
Those 3 losses. I mean, it almost would be a situation where you could count that as a 4th loss.
Yes, that'd be a double loss. That would honestly feel like you went 3-9.
Exactly.